Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Welcome back to another edition of the Rico Report. Y'all know who it is, man. Brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. We are here. We are here after an awful game against the Houston Texans. And the worst thing about these types of losses, being a fan of these Bills, is you got to wait it out. You got to wait it out. You got to wait it out by watching others play, which then has you in your feelings even more. Then you start looking at what that guy's doing and what that guy's doing and what that receiver's doing. And why aren't we doing this? And how come it has you questioning your fandom for this team. Now, do you not love this team? Do you still love this team? Of course you do. Well, boy, oh boy, do you have a lot more questions. And boy, oh boy, are things starting to spill over. And it's nasty. It ain't so great, ladies and gentlemen. It's not so great. But welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for waiting for your boy to come through. It is going to be a solo show for your boy. We got to reschedule my man, Mr. Jones. C. Jones won't be able to join us tonight, but that's all good because we're going to try to figure something out maybe for tomorrow. So stay tuned. And plus, we got to talk about injuries and all of that. Big time things need to be talked about. So if you guys are tuned in and ready to get it cracking, do me a favor, smash that like, hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel, and just to show a little love to everybody. Let's get this started. All right, first things first. Let's get the breaking news out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandin Bean has been busy. Busy Bean. Mr. Busy Bean has been busy because he and the front office and all the staff have come together and said, you know what? We're in need of another receiver. We couldn't trade for one, but we damn sure will sign one. Mecole Hardman. Just kidding. We signed him last week. We already know how that turned out. He's on injury reserve. So story of the life of the Buffalo Bills. But we've brought in 32-year-old former Saints receiver, Mr. Brandin Cooks, ladies and gentlemen. Brandin Cooks has joined the Buffalo Bills as the latest signee after being released from the New Orleans Saints. But most folks are thinking, oh, he got released, so why we talk about Brandin Cooks? Fam, let me give you guys a little backdrop on why and how Brandin Cooks is here. And we'll get into what he's done in the league and consistency and what he's going to bring to the Bills, right? But just to kind of get a background of what transpired with Brandin Cooks. So obviously he's been around the league. One of the few players that has rarely been a free agent, a restricted free agent. He was always traded. I think he's tied for one of the players that's been traded the most. I think this stat came from Sal Capaccio. Don't quote me on this, where he was traded 4 times. He's been traded 4 times. Eric Dickerson was also traded 4 times. So the guy's never been able to say, you know what, let me choose where I want to go, to the point where he had to put a clause and say, yo, you ain't trading me no more. All right, that's it. All right. But here we are. He is now a Buffalo Bill. But why did he get released by the Saints? You have a Chris Olave that was often injured, concussion. You had a Shaheed that ended the season with a big-time injury. So the Saints brought him in because, like, we don't know what we're going to have in Olave. We don't know what Shaheed's going to bring to the table. And we need a vet guy in this locker room that will catch passes from Derek Carr. So they signed the brother in March. So he thinks he's going to at least get a shot. He thinks he's at least going to get the ball thrown to by at least a guy that knows how to throw the football in Derek Carr. And what does Derek Carr do? Derek Carr goes around and says, you know what? I'm out of here. I ain't doing it. Retires in May. You're kidding me. So now Brandin Cooks is like, I didn't sign here to be thrown to by Tyler Shook. Or what are we doing here? So how do I feel some type of way too. So he was like, yo, please do me a favor. I see what's happening here. Go ahead and release me. Shaheed's gone. I tried it. It doesn't seem like it's happening. You guys are in rebuild mode. I'm not interested in being part of a rebuild. And I don't blame him. How would you blame him? You got a head coach. You got a head coach that's not a bad offensive coordinator, but nobody wanted that head coaching job. Nobody. It took the only candidate, what feels like the only candidate, to take that job. So here we are. Brandin Cooks released and now is a part of the Buffalo Bills. So how do we feel about this, Bills fans? How should we feel about this? Well, before we get into Brandin Cooks and what he can mean to this team, because I truly do believe, and I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again, I don't believe our receivers are horrible where they just can't get open for God knows what. I just don't. Now, can they be better? Absolutely. Does Brandin Cooks bring us something to the table? We'll see. I'm not easily swayed anymore. I used to get excited for these little signings. I don't get excited anymore because I know who is calling the shots and I know who's calling the plays. So I'm over the kumbaya business. But let me proceed. Before we get into the Brandin Cooks and what he can do, we got to talk about Brandon Beane. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to talk about Brandon Beane. We have all been in the camp, or we've all been in a position where at some point in his eight-year tenure with the Bills, we've said, man, I love me some Brandon Beane. I love what Brandon Beane's doing. Bro, look what Brandon Beane's doing. He's pulling all the shots, man. When we just a few short seasons ago were wondering, what are we going to do? Like, free agency's boring. And all of a sudden, he pulls in a big-time number in Von Miller. Now, splashy name, was looking like Von Miller until the injury happened. But that's not the point. The point is Brandon Beane is under scrutiny right now. He's under pressure right now. And he's under criticism right now. And it's all warranted. It's all warranted. You had an offseason where you could have built and got yourself a receiver, another receiver. You didn't do it. What you did was you went all in on the defense because you truly felt that I got an MVP quarterback. The offense has remained the same. I got an offensive coordinator that is a hot offensive coordinator at this point. I don't need to change anything. I'm gonna bolster this defense because this defense is what typically lets us down when it comes to playoff time. Has anything changed? You know what's more infuriating is all this investment into this defense, and the defense remains the same. It still is the liability that it was the year before then and the year before that. So what exactly has changed? We've put so much capital into this defense, and we're getting very little dividends back. When you have a all-star quarterback that could use a little bit more help, and you say, nah, you good, bro. You're going to make it enough. You know what I'm saying? He made Brandon Beane pretty much went to Josh Allen and became Smokey's mom and was like, make it enough. You only gave me $5. Make it enough. Go get me a championship. It's pretty much what he said. And if you guys are fans of Friday, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Make it enough, but it hasn't been. So what's Brandon Beane been doing ever since? He's been trying to patch things here and patch things there with some BS. He had his opportunity. Brandon Beane had his opportunity to make things right. But he said, nah, bruh, you gonna make it enough. What? And if you're not understanding where I'm coming from, we could have Jalen Waddle right now on this roster, which would then force offensive coordinator Joe Brady to change his offense a little bit, change your philosophy a little bit. But nope. He said, I want to keep my picks, and I'm going to give you Brandin Cooks instead. But before that, let me try McCole Hardman. Knowing your team has been unlucky this year, your strength and conditioning coach and team has been under scrutiny. Guys are getting injured left, right, center. We're deep down in the depths of having players come up and play. We have guys that have reached their limit on coming off of the practice squad. Gabe Davis, I think, has one more shot to come on the practice squad. What are they going to do with him? There's a whole lot of stuff going on, and it's at the hands of Brandon Beane. So he should absolutely be under scrutiny, under criticism, and they should be very strong and against him. And every Every chance I turn, I see the clip of him and the WGR guys going off and going at it, or more so him going at it, telling them, we score 30 points a game. Why are you guys bitching about this and bitching about that? And we. Well, Monsieur Français, the one that wants to say we. Well, we are some BS right now. We're 7-4, and we're a 7th seed. And things are not looking any prettier down the line. This is a tough end of the schedule. So now he comes in and says, yo, I'm desperate, because this is what this is. This is desperate. He's hearing the cries of the fans. He's seeing his quarterback sit on a bench and say, what are we doing? Frustration is boiling over. And I don't blame Josh Allen for being frustrated. Your O-line decided to stop blocking. They forgot how to block. You got a right tackle that was getting just bent over a barrel, bummed out shoulder, fighting for his life to stay on his feet when Anderson is just eating his lunch. You got Deion Dawkins on the left side, false starting. When you really need this opportunity to go and win this game, you false start. You're half-ass blocking. You stop blocking twice to have your quarterback sacked. It was not good. But Brandon Beane was like, bro, make it enough. Make it enough is pretty much what he was saying to Joe Brady and Josh Allen and his offense. And I do not blame Josh for being frustrated, for acting out of character or playing out of character, if you will. Is he without blame? Absolutely not. But do you blame him for doing too much? I certainly don't. So now, what does Brandin Cooks, shall I say, bring to this offense? What will he bring to this offense? That's a great question, and I'm so glad you asked. Here's the deal. Brandon still has wheels. Now, they're 32-year-old legs, so they're not fresh 26, 27-year-old legs. They're not the Brandin Cooks of the old Saints. They're not the Brandin Cooks of the Patriot days. Right? His legs aren't there. But he's still got wheels enough to get separation. He's still a guy that catches with just his hands. And he's a veteran guy enough to know where to sit in the zone, where to take a choice option route, where to be to give his quarterback an opportunity. And right now, we're in desperation mode. So him coming onto the squad, immediately onto the roster, tells you we need something now, because the season is like an hourglass, man. That hourglass is like this, man. We keep taking these L's. Bro, Stan's going to be right to the bottom, and we're going to be sitting here looking at, did we just miss the playoffs? How did this happen? There's going to be a whole lot of questions on how this happened. So this is a last-ditch effort to give this offense that little bit of a boost and hopefully get a charge and get this team going. But is Brandin Cooks signing enough? The answer is no, it's not enough. It's not enough. But we don't have a choice. There's no choice right now, because we can remain the same and continue to trot out Shavers, trot out Josh Palmer, trot out Khalil Shakir, trot out these guys that are just good receivers. There's no one that a corner standing and going, okay, which is the one guy that I got to cover it? No. And you want to know how you know that? Because when it's 3rd and 20, 3rd and over 18, and your defensive coordinator says, hey, press man coverage, I don't care. Press man coverage. None of these guys I respect, and they should not be a threat to you guys on my defense. And this is the Texans defensive coordinator talking here. Press them. Now we're in a predicament. So Brandon Beane didn't have a choice. I need to bring something here. And then when I start looking, which is crazy to me, because when I start looking at the opportunities that the Bills had, and I know it's hindsight 2020, but when you start looking at the opportunities Bills had. You could have had Brandon Beane in the offseason, could have had George Pickens. Have you guys seen what Brandon Beane missed out on? The Dallas Cowboys sent next year's third, 2027 fifth for Brandin Cooks. Excuse me, not Brandin Cooks, for George Pickens. George Pickens is absolutely one of the best receivers in this game right now. Next to another one of the best dogs in this game right now. The Dallas Cowboys have 2 dogs on this team, and all it took was a third and a fifth next year. We had to overpay to get Jalen Waddle, and we were like, bro, no. Isn't that something? Isn't that something, folks? Could you imagine a George Pickens in this Bills offense being thrown to by Josh? Josh would love it. You have a guy that can separate. You have a guy that can go up and get it. He can contested catch, don't care. You want me to go deep? I got you. You want to slant? I got you here too. The guy runs every route. Now, there's no sense in me talking about a guy that we could have had, because what we do have is right here. Khalil Shakir, 51 yards per game, 3 total touchdowns this year. Keon Coleman, 36 yards a game, three catches per game. You got a returning Josh Palmer that has absolutely disappointed me. I thought he was going to do big things, but he has not. 34 yards a game. Gabe Davis, this is the disrespect. Gabe Davis is on this graphic over Elijah Moore and Tyrell Shavers. And, oh, by the way, we have Curtis Samuel that's being paid $8 million a year. When you look at this roster here, when you look at this receiving core, it looks sorry. It looks sorry as ever. And now you bring in Brandin Cooks. What exactly will that do for us? That's my question. Does that excite you? It's so bad that you have people saying, yo, we should just bring up Gabe Davis and he'll take. Really? Are we there? Is that what we're doing? You had a guy in Tyrell Shavers that 4 receptions, 90 yards on a broken play. You know what I mean? Reads Josh Allen. They both connect. Boom, here we go. The following game against the Texans, you think that he's going to have a bigger role? Donut. Folks, the Bills are in a bad spot. So when it comes to Brandin Cooks, what will Brandin Cooks bring to the Bills? He's going to bring a little bit of stability. He's going to bring a veteran presence in that receiver room. Lord knows we need a veteran presence in that room. The guy's been in the game 12 years. He's been around the league. He's played with good quarterbacks. So he will bring at least a veteran presence in that receiver room. That's number one. Number two, the little juice he's got left in his legs, hopefully we can make something of it and figure something out for him. He can still catch. He can still run. Yes, he's 32 years of age, but the speed that he brings, and I'm sure, is a lot more explosive than what we have on this roster right now. Does he have hands? Somebody asked. Yes, he does. He's not one guy that you'll see is dropping footballs. He's reliable, and that's the thing. Josh is looking for someone that is reliable, looking for someone that is dependable. And right now, the one guy that he can depend on is hurt, and that's Kincaid. Kincaid is hurt. We don't know when we're going to get Kincaid back. Could it be this week? Is it going to be the following week? We're not sure. We're going to find out tomorrow when we talk to our guy, the thigh doc. So who's dependable? You can't rely on Keon Coleman. You can't rely on Shavers. You can't there's a lot of guys that who the heck can you rely on? Who can Josh say, yo, I trust that guy, I rely on this guy? It's Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid. Can't rely on Curtis Samuel because if he's not catching with his body, he's on the sideline nursing an injury. Gabe Davis is Gabe Davis, slow as ever, and he's got some chemistry with Josh. Sure. Josh Palmer has been non-existent. I don't understand. I don't understand this phenomenon here. Keon Coleman, we don't know if this guy wants to play ball for real. If he's still in the doghouse, we don't know. So there's a lot of guys that Josh cannot rely on, cannot depend on. So, like, I don't blame Josh for trying to do a little too much. But you know what happens when you do too much? Bad things can happen. So Brandin Cooks comes in, gives you someone you can rely on, depend on, catch the football, and hopefully gives you a little something over the top that has a defense saying, hold on now, that brother can run. We may have to respect this a little bit. And I don't want to get into this, well, because if he takes over the top of the defense, then it'll allow guys to get underneath. It's been BS. I tried to sell myself that. No bueno. No bueno, because that's not the offense. It's not the scheme. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. So here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Brandin Cooks to the Bills. Now, if I'm Brandon Beane and I'm Sean McDermott and I'm offensive coordinator Joe Brady, I don't have the time to ease this player in. Give him the playbook. Give him 5 to 10 plays that he's got to memorize. And if he's got to go into the huddle and Josh has to tell him what his route is, he's been in the league long enough, he'll adapt. He'll do what needs to be done. But you don't have the luxury of time to ease him in because you put him on the sideline, he's got to sit there and wait. Now you're trotting out Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Tyrell Shavers, Elijah Moore, a disgruntled Elijah Moore might have had. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. And Brandon Beane is to blame for this mess. Stop the cap, stop the press. Brandon Beane is to blame for this mess. You thought you could go in there and duplicate what you did last year. The disrespect that you have for the rest of the league. The disrespect that you think that the Patriots are just going to lay down and give it to you one more. Are you kidding me? We've been holding down the AFC East the last 5 years. You don't think these guys are pissed off and want to take it back? A team that has been running that AFC East for the longest time, they're pretty much saying, yo, we let you have your little run, and you didn't do diddly squat with it, so we taking it back. How insulting. How embarrassing, first and foremost. So there's a whole lot of doo-doo that everybody on this team has to share. There's a whole lot of it. And if I'm speaking some truth, if you feel that I'm saying some things that resonate with you, do me a favor. Pay attention to my man, Dog. He's throwing that mic up. He knows. He's old school. Anytime that you feel that I'm saying some things that make sense to you, that resonate, throw that mic up, type it in the chat, and press it. Let's go. If I ain't saying anything that makes any sense to you and you're like, yo, man, you talking some junk, throw a potato in there, man. Yo, tater me. But I'll tell you right now, man. If I'm a receiver on this team, and here, let me speak on another thing. If I'm a Bills receiver on this team, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm not pissed because my quarterback is not getting to me. 44 block. He's such an idiot. He dumbass. All right. If I'm a receiver on this team, I'm absolutely pissed. If I'm Elijah Moore, I'm annoyed. If I'm Josh Palmer, I'm pissed. I'm annoyed. If I'm Khalil Shakir, I'm absolutely annoyed. I'm beyond annoyed because I know my abilities as a receiver, but you guys have relegated me to some bum gadget player. Elijah Moore is not just a gadget player. Put him out on the field and give him something. Make him run routes, for crying out loud. I cannot understand it. You choose to put Elijah Moore on the sideline and put on Curtis Samuel. Why? What have you seen from Curtis Samuel that's got you like beyond the money? Put the money aside. Put both players and tell me which player is more valuable to this team. You can't tell me Curtis Samuel's more valuable than Elijah Moore. Yeah, but we're paying him $8 million. You're not getting your money's worth. So why keep wasting your time with it? And now you're just bringing Brandin Cooks on the team. So Elijah Moore's sitting like, yo, so what am I here for? What am I here for? What do you guys bring me here for? Selling me a dream that this is going to happen. I'm pissed if I'm one of the receivers, but not because my quarterback's not doing what he's supposed to do. It's the offensive coordinator that cannot find me my niche, know my skill set, and put me in the best positions to play ball and win and make plays. But this brother refuses to do it. Keep running that mesh play. Keep doing that. Keep having 5-man protections. Keep doing that. Never make adjustments. I don't give a rat's ass if Curtis Samuel played for you and you know him. So if I'm a receiver on the team, yeah, I'm mad. Yo, I'm vexed. I'm cheese, bro. Yo, I'll be mad as hell, bro. And I'll be coming into work. How do you come into work motivated? How do you come into work motivated to give your all to this team, to give them everything you got to try to get on the field and make plays, and they got you inactive, or they got you running a gadget play, they got you running the screen. Like you're Khalil Shakir. The year before last year, we saw Khalil Shakir catching footballs down the field and doing all what has happened that he's been relegated to just that? What's happened? Nah, man, there comes a time. Enough's enough. Enough's enough, but it's too late. It's too late. You got to deal with what you got to deal with. So if I'm some of the receivers, bro, I'd be feeling some type of way coming into practice. I'd be feeling some type of way running the same old plays. I'd be feeling some type of way when a guy's on the field when I know I'm better than this guy. If I'm Keon Coleman, yes, I messed up. Yes, I didn't show up on practice on time. Yes, I did that. Maybe I rubbed somebody the wrong way. But bro, I'm still a good athlete. The job of the offensive coordinator is to coordinate the offense and coordinate and put a player in place to succeed. You can't tell me that all Keon Coleman is good for is a back shoulder throw. You can't tell me all he's good for is an odd slant route. Meanwhile, you got Gabe Davis running the same route that Keon could run, stops on a dime, comes for a comeback, and the ball's right there on the money. Boom. You mean to tell me Keon Coleman can't run that? False, because last year he ran those same plays. Those are the same plays that got him touchdowns. So what has happened this year? I'm baffled. Bro. Somebody said Rico's done with Coleman. I'm not done with Coleman. I still feel like he's got something, but I think my frustration right now as a Bills fan is obviously I'm starting to like now my frustration is starting to reach over to Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott. And I know people are like, yo, you're late. You should have been there. I mean, sometimes you got a level of grace. You got a level of grace for some guys. But now that level of grace is almost running thin. It's running thin. And I'll jump into that a little bit more. But like I bring this up because with this Brandin Cooks signing and all this good stuff that's happening, and we're bringing all these new faces, we don't have the time and the luxury to wait and make sure that he's got it. And put a few plays together for him and get him on the field. The same way you did it with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was sitting in the line. You know what I'm saying? He's on there and he's asking Keon, yo, what's my route? Yo, you got to run this and run that. All right, bet. Gets in there. Touchdown. So I don't want to hear it. Yo. We don't got another. We're 7-4, ladies and gentlemen. We are 7-4. Let me repeat that. The Bills are 7-4. It's not a good look. The standings. Look at this mess. Look at this mess. The Patriots are winning the AFC East. Fine. We've conceded. We can't let these guys not only win the AFC East, take the number 1 seed, something that we were vying to get, and then push for a Super Bowl run. Are you kidding me? The first year of Vrabel comes back. We're going to give him that opportunity? Are you effing kidding me? Nah, this ain't good. This ain't good. Now, can the Bills go on a run? Absolutely can. Have they done it before? Absolutely. Can the Patriots collapse? I'm sure they can. They're 1 or 2 injuries away from something really catastrophic happening. I don't wish it on them because you want fair play, but we got a problem. We absolutely got a problem. All right, let me move on to my next topic here. And that is the Bills and Brandin Beane. Brandin Beane is on my this guy's on the forefront. My G, he is on the forefront. Brandin Beane is not busy. Busy Beane, huh? Busy Beane was at it again. This guy went to the Rolodex and he said, 2013. Who did we draft that year? Let's see if he's available. Shaq Lawson. You think he'd call? When's the last time Shaq Lawson played? Oh, he hasn't played in a couple years. He hasn't played all offseason. He hasn't even had an offseason. Yeah, let's call that brother up. Are you kidding me? We're calling up players that have experience in this defense that hasn't had an offseason. That's what we're doing, folks. That's what we're doing. And you wonder why fans are like, yo, what's going on, fam? You wonder why fans are like, you know what? If we have to let go of both McBean, both those cats, yeah, I'm ready for that. Time to go. You've had your time. I don't blame them. I do not blame them one bit. Can you? We're going back. Do you see the amount of players that we've brought back that have no business being on this team? Really? Is that what we're doing? The latest, this is a shocker to me. Shaq Lawson has been signed to the Bills. This brother said, Buffalo, New York. Everybody knew what was going down. Bro, ain't nobody coming to Buffalo, New York. You know what I mean, to come check out some wings. Ain't nobody coming from Niagara Falls and then dipping. Ain't nobody coming to freaking West Seneca to hang out. Ain't nobody going to Allentown for a beer. Should I keep going? Nobody's coming just for Lenovo Pizza. Although Lenovo Pizza is legit and is delicious. This brother said, I'm in Buffalo. We know what time it is. Shoot, here go Beane again. It's gotta be absolutely embarrassing to be hitting up your old girl. Can you imagine that? You've been broken up with your girl for a long time. You calling her back, be like, yo, what you doing? None. I was just sitting on the couch. Girl, come over here. That's what Brandin Beane's doing. He's calling up all his old bays. And guess what? They're making themselves available because they are. They're going to be. And we're bringing the whole gang back together. Yo, what are we doing? Brandin Beane, what are we doing, bro? At least get some young legs. Some fresh legs. These guys bring old legs back. What? It's tough, bro. It's tough, bro. And you know, here's the thing. She gained weight. She got 4 or 5 kids. I mean, let's reverse it. He's gained weight. He ain't got no job. He been waiting. Come on, man. Shoot. No, but this is the state of the Buffalo Bills right now. This is the state. We're 7-4. We're 7-4. This is the state of the Bills. Yo, Beane does love that old thing. He want that old thing back. Yeah, he does. But that old thing back just coming for the paycheck, man. I need someone that's coming through for the passion. That's hungry to get an opportunity. Golly, man. So Shaq Lawson, welcome back to Buffalo. I don't know exactly what you're gonna bring to the squad. You're on the practice squad right now, so I assume you're gonna have to try to get back into football shape, condition yourself, and Lord knows if he touches the field, blown Achilles. I'm not putting it out there, and I don't want to put it out there, but you haven't played, and you're going to try to come in and go full blown. You're just giving money away, Brandon Beane. You just gave money to McCall Hardman. That brother just came in for one game. You gave him a paycheck. Chilling. Come on, man. I don't know what's up, man. I don't know if Brandon Beane's been rattled by his social media. I don't know if he was feeling himself too much. Maybe he got to the point where he was feeling himself. He thought, I got it. And everything's unraveling, and he's like, golly. But do you give him another opportunity to right his wrongs? Or has he written his last wrong and it's over with? Has he buried himself with all these just bridging? This guy's just bringing a bridge over. I'm just bringing guys back to just cover this bad. Cover the wound a little bit. Bro, this is more than a wound, man. It's more than a wound. I'd love to know the state of this team right now. I really would. I'd love to know the state of this team. And I say the state, I mean, I want to know their psyche. I want to know, are they in on Beane? Do they still love Beane like that? Are they still in on McDermott? Has it played out? Are they still in on Joe Brady? Are they sick of Brady? Are they sick of Babbage? I wonder. And it was absolutely telling, because you don't ever see this from Josh Allen, where he sits on the bench and just is bitching. I don't want to use the word bitching, but that's, you know what I'm saying? He's like, what are we doing? Yo, when your quarterback's like, yo, what are we doing? We've all been there. We've all been there playing sports where things are horrible. They're going wrong. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's hustling. You're the only one. You feel like you're the only one that's playing hard. And you're like, yo, what are we? Your shoulders shrug up and you have this look on your face. You scrunch your face up. What are we doing? That's where he was at. That's where Josh was at. Josh was like, yo, what are we doing? Where am I at? Is it Twilight Zone? What's going on here? What are we doing? Bro, when your quarterback is saying, what are we doing? That ain't good. That is not good news. And beyond Brandon Beane, if I'm the owner of this team and I see my franchise quarterback, the guy that brings people in the seats, the guy that's got commercials everywhere, the guy that's bringing money to your franchise, Terry and Kim Pagula, y'all got to step in at one point and be like, yo, we can't have this. This brother's about to be 30. He's actually 30 right now. 30 years of age, bro. We got another 6, maybe 7 years of this brother on this team. And the best years are in the next 3 that we're going to get. Terry and Kim, you believe in what these boys are doing still? And watching your fan base sit there and go like, what the heck is going on? Bro, y'all better be paying close attention to how these guys deal in these next 6 games. Because, yo, something's got to give. And Terry and Kim are the ones that are going to have to make this move. Because GM can't fire the head coach because the head coach does not report to the GM. So they both report to the owner separately. So guess what, owner? You've got to come down and either make a decision. But it all goes on how the end of the year goes. I'm going to tell you right now, if it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, and that's a Super Bowl Lombardi, yo, fan, if you think Bills fans can be nasty, boy, they're going to be real nasty. They're going to be real nasty where you're going to have no choice but to make a decision. Do I want that to happen? No. Do I like McDermott? Yes. Do I like Brandon Beane? Yes. Would I have loved for those two, along with Josh, to bring a Lombardi to Buffalo? Heck yes. But it's also a statistic that a head coach that has been longer than 5 years with a team, there's no success after that. They don't ever bring championships to the team. So what are we doing? You got me acting like Josh Allen. What are we doing? What are we doing, Terry and Kim? Now it's on y'all, man. Y'all can't stay quiet this whole time. Y'all can't stay quiet this whole time. Enough already. Y'all better be paying attention, paying close attention. And I hope that Kim is well and she's recovering, because I know that she was dealing with some things. So I hope that she is well enough that Terry and Kim can come together and be like, all right, babe, what are we doing? I don't know, honey. What would you like to do? Well, shoot, if I got to be the one to make decisions, I'm going to be the one to make decisions. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me chill. But I'm going to tell you right now, once that offseason happens and the results don't come in like we wanted to, well, I'll be talking. We'll all be talking. And the talking is only going to get louder and louder and louder. Believe that. Believe that. Because, yo, there's only so much, bro. Gronkowski, my gosh, of all people, Gronkowski was like, yo, y'all, he said some things that made me kind of say, oh, snap. Robert Gronkowski was on the Fox show, and they were all, chiming in on the state of the Bills. And this brother came in and says, hey, y'all had 5 years to figure it out. Y'all had 5 years to have one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You guys had 5 years winning this division, and you guys squandered it. You did diddly squat. Now the Pats are back. You lost your opportunity. Boy, did that hit me. That hit me. I didn't want to say he right, but he's looking to be correct. We had 5 years. What do we have to show for it? McDermott's got 100 wins. Cool. Josh Allen got an MVP. Awesome. Bounced out of the playoffs 4 straight times by the Kansas City Chiefs. Awesome. What do we really have to show for it? Have we made it to the dance at least? At least you can say you made it to the dance. And say, yo, we made it to the dance at least. At least we got to the... At least Joe Burrow can say, I got to the Super Bowl. The point is to win it. But fam, we knocking on the door. And we just keep getting denied. Bro, there comes a time. There comes a time where things got to happen. And when Gronkowski was like, y'all have 5 years to make something happen and you lost your shot, oof. Gut punch. Facts. But here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. By the way, we're going for 40 minutes. If you guys are enjoying this show, if you guys are entertained by this banter, smash that like. Show some love. If you have not subscribed to the channel. If you haven't followed me on X, go ahead and follow me on X. It's all right there. All right. Next topic. I got to play this clip for y'all because it made me rather very upset. And I will not mince my words for when I do have to speak. I feel like it's just necessary just to get my rocks off. So let me share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen for you wonderful people, just so you have an idea of where we're shaking and what's going on. And we'll get a crack in here. So there's my Twitter. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not trying to show off here. It's not even a show off. I don't know why I even mentioned that, but isn't this interesting? Back in October 30th, can you guys see that? October 30th, I was like, yo, this trade deadline's coming soon. All that nonsense happening. Bills fans were all talking about, here he comes. We want Rashid Shaheed. Let's get Shaheed. I was like, bro, you know Brandon B don't work that way. And you know that we want Rashid Shaheed, but the Bills are going to get Brandin Cooks. Look at that. The prophet. Just kidding. But I found that hilarious because we didn't have to trade for him. We got him. And I think that might give this offense a spark. That's if Brady decides to drop his nutsack and call some grown man plays. But I digress for now. Now, what I really wanted to show you was this. If you guys have not been paying attention
to first and foremost,
I'm going to play this clip for you guys. It's about a minute, and it's a minute that I think is necessary for you to see. You probably have seen this clip before. You've probably been seeing it circulate because the thing damn near has 800,000 views on this thing. So this has been seen by a lot of eyes. All right. So DeMeco Ryans, the head coach of the Houston Texans, was on. I got to give it proper due because I'm not just going to just play the thing. They were on a pod called Houston Stressins, or it was posted by these folks here. Houston Stressins, Texans commenter. All right. And they had Mr. DeMeco Ryan on the show. And they were asking him about, the game against the Bills. Listen to what this brother had to say. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was sick to my stomach when I heard this mess. Listen to this.
That's very true. Everybody just has to, first and foremost, I thought it was a scheme that we don't see much. Most of the times we're getting a lot of chips. There are a lot of 7-man protection schemes. So they really put a lot on their quarterback's plate to really, all right, guys are going to have one-on-one matchups, and they really were hoping that he could escape the pocket and get past guys. And he's such a big guy, such a tough tackle. So not only, were they able to get to him, but to get him down, that's a really tough tackle. And it was impressive the way those guys got him down. But everybody did what exactly they needed to do. Coach Rod did a really good job. He does a great job of coordinating the games and the stunts that we run. And I thought this was the best game that we had of guys being really in sync, whether we were sending the inside and wrapping our tackles outside. It was even on our last play of the game, the fourth down play, Sheldon Rankins is wrapping around outside. He's coming free to the quarterback, and it forced Josh to where he could have stepped through and finished his throw. He had to let it go sooner than he wanted to, and that's why Kalen got the pick.
All right. Let me let you guys digest that. Because I had to digest that and listen to it multiple times before I was able to really what? Did I just hear that correctly? So what you heard, the head coach, not some podcaster, not some guy like myself that's at home, in a different country, covering the team and sharing his opinion. No, this is the head coach of the NFL team that had that to say. Now, a few things that I need to touch on. This guy said, usually teams will throw in, a 7-man protection. You know what I'm saying? Throw an extra lineman in there, an extra, extra people to block, just to chip away at this number one defense in the game. You got a guy by the name of Anderson that is a monster. You have another guy by Danielle Hunter that's a monster on his own. And you got 2 strong interior linemen, one that used to be a Buffalo Bill. And this brother said,
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin. And I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
Bro, teams will usually chip and help. The Bills were like, no, we're not. We're gonna give you 5-man protection. Mano y mano. Now, some folks might say, well, that's how it should be. You have one of the best linemen in the game. You have the best O-line in the game. Bro, let them deal with Danielle Hunter. Let them deal with, you know what I'm saying, Will Anderson. And let Josh do what he's supposed to do. See, at first I'd say I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. After the first quarter, you should be like, something ain't right. Something ain't taste right. Because these guys are on your ass. And you stick with 5-man protection for the remainder of the game, an odd chip here and there, but you let a guy that's got one arm deal with Anderson. Deion Dawkins is dealing with Danielle Hunter, and Deion Dawkins has these moments where he takes plays off, and you don't chip? What do you think Myles Garrett is going to do to you? And he's on a heater right now. What do you think TJ Watt is going to do to y'all? But Joe Brady was like, nah, bruh, we're going to let 17 do what he does. You know your receivers are having trouble getting off the bump and run and off these receivers. Derek Stingley is out across the way in one of the best corners in this game. They're not doing what they do. At least give your quarterback time to at least try to find somebody. But you let these guys go mano y mano, and they smell blood, and they kept on coming. And here's the worst part. There was never an adjustment. So you wanted Josh Allen, and you heard the coach say it. They wanted him to kind of do it on his own, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing. They said he's going to have to do it on his own. Mano a mano, he's going to have to find guys down the field. But this is a number one defense. I can understand if you're going up against, I don't know, let's say who's the worst team in the NFL right now? Who's the worst team in the NFL? Saints? Jets? Doesn't matter. Pick a team. You can do that against them. But you can't do that against the number one defense in the game. See, that's where coaching is an issue for me. And this is where now I have to rope in McDermott. And you guys know I like McDermott. But McDermott, you're seeing this happen live in front of your eyes. You're seeing your offensive tackle getting pushed around, getting beat, making Josh leave pockets sooner than he's supposed to. Not one opportunity to say, yo, he got to go. Get that brother out, man. He's killing us. Hey, are we going to get some extra protection in here? We need some protection. Josh is dying. Is Josh saying something? Bro, change the play. I need more protection. Where's that? Whether that conversation's happening or not happening, that's a problem. McDermott, you got to yank that little guy that's got that chain out, yank him and bring him down and say, yo, you see this? My quarterback's been sacked. He's been sacked 8 times today. Not only has he been sacked 8 times today, he's lost 70 yards. because he's trying to do as much as he can, turning around, finding something. Do I love when Josh does that? No. But I understand Josh has to do what he's got to do. Yet, no change. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm absolutely done with Joe Brady. I don't give a F what he does the rest of the way. I want nothing to do with that brother. I don't want this guy coming back. I know that he's probably going to finish the year with the Bills, but I want nothing to do with this brother. I want him gone, out of here. I was reading articles on why Joe Brady got fired from Carolina. A lot of the same things. Philosophy issues. Coach wanted him to run the football more. He was throwing a lot more, which is hilarious to me because he's learned a little bit to run the football, but now he's running the football a lot more and having this mesh concept. Here's what I read as well. In Carolina, he was actually throwing a lot more vertical routes. He's completely changed his offense here to run more shorter intermediate. Now, did he change it a little bit for Josh to keep Josh from throwing interceptions and maintain and get him to be a game manager? I don't know. All I know is it didn't work out for him over there. And here's the thing. He had Sam Darnold as his quarterback. We see what Sam Darnold is doing right now. He had Cam Newton when Cam Newton came back, so I'm not really going to count Cam Newton for that because Cam Newton was a shell of himself. And then they were rotating P.J. Walker in there. They were rotating quarterbacks because they couldn't figure something out. So who's the problem exactly? Sam Darnold's doing great things right now. You see that? So who's the problem here? Yeah, but Josh Allen got the MVP last year. Now, there's been conversation. Listen, I love that he got the MVP last year. I thought it was deserving of the MVP based on what the team looked like, how he was able to persevere and beat big-time opponents, because that's what happens. That's what gets you the MVP. Statistically, we know that he was not statistically the MVP, but it's who you beat in the NFL. And I'm bringing this up because there's conversation of whether we saw this last year, but because Josh is so great that he overcame a lot of the deficiencies of offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Now, maybe this year, adjustments were made from other teams where they're like, okay, we understand it now. Let's try it again. And now you see the struggles because people are on to Josh. They're on to Josh. Another, when I was listening to that podcast with DeMeco Ryans, there was another clip of that same podcast or host that was talking to a player. And the player was like, yo, sometimes coaches tell you stuff and you're like, yeah, coach is saying this, but it never really happens. Bro, he told us verbatim what to do and it happened. Here's what Coach DeMeco Ryans told him. He's like, guys, Josh is a big-time quarterback. He's a big boy. If you think you're going to bring him down off the first hit, you're wrong. And if you think that you whiffed at him and you give up on the play, you're wrong as well. You whiff, I don't give a rat's ass what you do. Get back up on your feet and chase him again because he'll probably end up coming back to you because he loves to stick around and make plays. Holy crap, the coach told him exactly what to do. And they got it. What did Josh do? Josh is looking, can't find anybody. Turn back around. Here comes Daniil Hunter. Here comes Will Anderson. Bro, Will Anderson at one point got tossed to the ground, gets back up on his feet, hops over another player, sacks Josh Allen. It was unbelievable. These guys had their number. And it started with the O-line not doing their job and knowing that Josh is a guy that's never going to give up on plays, so you don't give up on rushing the passer. Here are the facts. 8 sacks, 70 yards, and losses. Bingo. So now, which gets me to be frustrated with, you see this happening. You see Josh struggling. You see Josh making poor decisions. And that's a Josh thing as well. But it's not about him right now. We already know what time it is with Josh. But then here's the kicker for me. And this is where I'm starting to like, hey, Coach McDermott, are you still showing confidence in Joe Brady? I'm paraphrasing the question here. I still have a lot of confidence in Joe Brady. He's going to be the offensive coordinator of this team. He's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Are there things that we need to change? And are there things that we need to get better at? Yeah, but he's going to be the offensive coordinator of this team. He stood on his business. And I get it. What, are you going to fire him middle of the season? Because if he does, McDermott looks like the problem. And some folks already feel he is the problem. But think about it. He fired Rico Dennison. You guys probably forgot about Rico Dennison. He fired Rico Dennison after that Houston Texans playoff game because offensively we just couldn't do anything. But you remember who our quarterback was. So Dennison out. Dable in. Dable comes in, gives us great success. Then there's some kind of friction within the team. So Dable leaves, gets a head coaching job with the Giants, whether you want to call it that. I mean, he left because of that. Maybe it was due. Who knows? He's gone. Dorsey in. Doesn't like what's going on with the offense. What does he do? Fires Dorsey. Here comes Brady. He can't fire Brady. Because if he fires Brady, Brady's just the scapegoat. And it's like, it's been your decisions. So he's got to hold on to this brother until the end of the year. And they'll split up amicably, and then McDermott will have another opportunity to try to bring in another offensive coordinator. Now, do you give him that opportunity? That's where I'm at right now. Because you didn't pick a great one in Rico Dennison. You had 1 year with this guy, and he was out of there. You picked Dorsey. You didn't like what Dorsey was doing. You said you're out of there. And now you have Brady. What you going to do? You see what's happening with the offense? We should be able to pass the football when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen. We should. You're absolutely correct. But you just stamped him to say, "Yo, that's my OC. I'm keeping him." See what I'm talking about? That's the type of stuff that's getting me annoyed a little bit. You know this guy's having a problem. And I know some people will say, "Well, hold on. So if he fires him, yo, who do we have that can run plays?" I mean, we do have the tight ends coach. What is it? Boras, whatever his name is. I don't know if it's there that he's going to do it. I think it's too late into the season to fire, in my opinion, because we're still in the thick of things. But my goodness. I mean, look at what the Raiders have done. Chip Kelly was one of the highest paid offensive coordinators. Actually, he was the highest paid offensive coordinator. That display of football that we saw by the Raiders, pathetic against the Cleveland Browns. Yo, Chip Kelly's on his way out of here. You out of here, bro. You're done. And here's my conclusion on this. The McDermott holding on to Brady and saying he's not the issue and we're going to have to get better. I don't blame him for saying that because you got to protect your guy, et cetera, et cetera. But protecting your guy could probably get you canned. And y'all both can go. Because this year, although it's 7-4, and folks might say, "Oh, you're overreacting." I heard that 3 weeks ago. Chill out, Rico. We're 7-2, man. You're acting like, or we're acting like you're this, bro. Now look at us. We're 7-4. We're the 7th seed right now. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers next. Then after the Pittsburgh Steelers, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, and Joe Burrow returns. Then you got the New England Patriots. This is a must-win against Pittsburgh. Joe Burrow coming back with Jamar Chase, and maybe T. Higgins comes back from concussion protocol, and he got rocked. I don't even know how that game goes. And Cincinnati gives us fits every time. Then you got New England that's on a heater right now. Then you got Cleveland that's got one of the best defenses in the game. They just don't have a quarterback, but maybe Shador with more time, who knows what he brings to the table. And then you got Philly. And then you get to end the season against the Jets wearing your beloved red helmets. Those things can go right to, could care less about those. But you get to have those red helmets. Bro, Pittsburgh, Cincy, New England, Cleveland, Philly. Huh. So this will be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch how these Bills respond to this tough 5-game stretch coming up. Who knows if Aaron Rodgers is going to play in this game? I feel as though the Bills are better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. We should be able to take them. But I also thought we were better than Houston Texans. I also thought we were better than Miami Dolphins. I also thought we were better than the Atlanta Falcons. But here we are. Here we are. Folks, we've lost 3 of the last 4. Am I doing that right? It's bad. 1, 2. Let me see. The last 4 games we had Houston. I'll take the Houston. We had Tampa. We beat Tampa. We lost them. We lost to Miami. Then we got KC. Golly, man, tough, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's tough. The last 7 games, we've lost 4 of the last 7 games. So these next 5 games are absolutely crucial. How does McBean react? How does Brady adjust? And how is Josh going to, put this team on his back? Because I get this, at this point, we got no choice. At this point, there is no choice. Here we are. So, folks, Brandin Cooks to the Bills. We brought back Shaq Lawson. We're not getting any guys back healthy anytime soon. I mean, what we got is what we got. This is a tough position to be in, folks. I saw a side note before I take some questions and before I get out of here. Side note. I saw a clip of, who was it? TJ Sanders getting absolutely mauled and just disrespected by the Texans O-line in that game. Golly, did we ever get owned in the trenches? These boys got to take it personally. At this point, take it personally. Anything that comes your way, take it personally. This is pathetic. Pathetic. Josh Allen is not going to be Josh Allen that you see today forever. There's going to be a point where this guy gets fed up. Fed up, man. And at this point, I'm over. Side note, man. You ever, for those that have mustaches and that have coarse hair, you ever get it like curling up? That's when you know you're due for a haircut, man. I got to get this thing out of the way. It keeps getting into freaking corners of my mouth. Anyway, there comes a time at one point where, bro, this guy's going to be so sick and tired of this stuff. He's going to be like, bro, like, avoid my contract, bro. I'm not going to put it out there. I could totally see Josh saying, I'm not playing for any other team, but I'm retiring early. I'm pulling an Andrew Luck. I'm done. Like, y'all don't take nothing seriously around here. I'm trying to win. That's all I want. I want to win. And if they don't want to help this guy win, I'm out of here. I'm retiring. I got a wifey. I can have kids soon, bro. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play golf. Me and Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? We might go pro together. We're gonna just do it. Because this is for the birds, man. So give me something. Give me something. Give this guy something, bro. James Cook is fantastic. Kincaid is great. This brother can't stay on the freaking field. Shoot, man. My man said bent brim. Rico's back. Yo, is it bent too much? Let me just straighten that out. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, I don't want it straight. I want a little bit of a curve. But y'all catch my drift, man. Y'all catch my drift. I'm not trying to poo-poo on this team, but like this has been my frustration after that Thursday night game. That Thursday night game was absolute dog poop. Absolute dog poop. My man Walter says Kincaid is good, not great. You're right, but he's better than what we got right now. Dawson Knox is Dawson Knox. Here's another beef that I have. And this is the last one. Okay. I'm talking about, I mean, you guys know how I feel about Brady. I got no more love for Brady. I'm tired of what I see. Right. And if he excites me for the rest of the year and the offense starts looking great, I'll still root. But it took fans and criticism from media and your quarterback saying, what are we doing for you to change things up? Nah, man, you should have made those adjustments long ago. But nah, here we are. With McDermott, bro, Pooper, get off the pot, man. Give this team to somebody else that can get this team over the hump. Because if you can't get it done, injuries suck. I get it, but you can't get it done, fam. We out of here, bro. We out of here. You know what I'm saying? We out of here. It's too much. It's too much. Lastly, for me, before I get out of here. Actually, before I need to get to this point first. Brady, Bean, McDermott. Those three, like, they should be hot seat galore. But the biggest culprit in all of this for me is the silence. And I don't know what to expect from them. But I also know that, like, the silence from them is also speaking to me and speaking to us Bills fans. And that's the Pagulas. Terry and Kim, you can't keep letting this crap keep going and then masking a division title and saying that we're close when we're not even close. We got beat 4 times by the Kansas City Chiefs to not go to the freaking play, like, to get bounced out of the playoffs. As an owner, you got to be like, bro, 4 times? And this is the regime and the coach and GM that convinced you to not take Pat Mahomes. You wanted Pat Mahomes. They said, nah, bro, we're going to trade that pick. Don't worry, bro, we got you. We're going to go for Trey White. And we're going to give the Kansas City Chiefs Pat Mahomes. Bro, be sick. You got to be sick. Do you love Josh Allen? Of course you do. But these two are the ones that convinced you to go do that. And that very tandem that made you skip on grabbing Pat Mahomes, the quarterback that you liked, now you're dealing with this mess. So now you gotta speak up. You spoke up then, and they silenced your ass. So what you gonna do now? You gonna stay silent, Kim? You gonna stay silent, Terry? Come on, man. I need a Super Bowl. We need a Super Bowl. Bills fans need a Super Bowl. The city of Buffalo needs a Super Bowl. Heck, your Sabres need a Stanley Cup. That ain't gonna happen anytime soon. The closest you're gonna get to something being lifted in the air would be from these Bills. But nah, bro, you cool staying silent. Y'all are cool staying silent and letting these dudes do what they do. You had an opportunity to get Jalen Waddle. I can't get over that part, man. You had an opportunity to get Jalen Waddle. You said, nah, I'm good. I'm good. But you know what we got? We got Brandin Cooks, baby. Let's go. Let's make a run. In the words of Josh Allen, what are we doing? What are we doing? I digress. I needed to get this off. Listen, I haven't been live since Thursday. That game pissed me off, bro. I was mad. Absolutely mad. Listen, my man Cody Benz says it, man. Just let me make an appearance. Let me make an appearance. Let me just say, yo, we going to the Super Bowl, baby. Can I do that? Can I celebrate for 2 weeks saying, as if we're going to the Super Bowl. This team could do it. Y'all don't even let me do that. Y'all keep letting me get bounced out divisional round, bounced out the AFC Championship, get bounced out of this wild card. Yo, when are we going to get over the hump? And is it going to be with the likes of McDermott and Brandon Beane? I had to ask myself, if they said, bro, one of them's got to go, because they both report to they both report to Kim and Terry Pagula. So if they had to make a decision on moving on from either Beane or moving on from McDermott, who would I move on off from? What am I saying that right? Who would I move off of? Who would I say, you know what? That guy's got to go. At first, I thought I was like, yo, it gotta be McDermott. It gotta be McDermott. Then I was like, yeah, but this brother he's still the one buying the groceries. He's still the one, you know what I'm saying, wanting to bolster this defense and bolster this. But yo, I gotta make that Brandon Beane. This guy's the one who just said, no, Jalen Waddle, nah, I don't want that. I want my picks. No. We're still broke. Here's another thing. Next year, there are some moments where you're like, you know what? Maybe we didn't get into the playoffs, or maybe we got bounced out in the wild card round, but at least we got money next year that we can go in and just buy a whole bunch of players, and we'll be competitive and we'll really make that push. We're broke. Come on, man. So we don't got no money. We keep getting bounced out of the playoffs. Your quarterback's getting older. Your GM is hoarding picks and not grabbing players that he can grab. So what am I looking forward to next year exactly? A whole bunch of bargain bean bullshit again? I'm telling yo, it's getting wild, bro. It's getting wild. I didn't want to cuss, but you mean bargain bin bean? It was cute. Now it's bargain bin bullshit. Now bargain bin bullshit cannot happen next year. Y'all got to make some cuts. Y'all got to move some people on. There are going to be some cuts that need to be made. We're going to cry boo-hoo and say, oh, what about that guy? What? Don't care. What does the future of the team look like, man? We can't keep going the annual bargain bin bullshit. Let's see. Let me bring my cart. Let's see. Ooh, that's way too expensive. We got to go back to the back of the store. And when we get to the back of the store where all the bargain stuff is, even then, we may not be able to get that type of stuff because we're so broke. We're going to do layaway. I'd like to get that, but can I put it aside? I have some money now, and when I get my paycheck, I'm going to cut a couple players, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to see if I can get that. Layaway? Shoot. Only old school folks are going to know what layaway is. The new people are not going to know. Young folks are not going to know about layaway. Layaway bean. Oh, my gosh, man. Yo, if you guys enjoyed this show, do me a favor and smash that like. I know my man Carl Jones wasn't on with me, but you know what I mean? The show must go on, baby. The show must go on. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's refreshing to kind of, you know what I mean, get back to my old ways. You feel me? Anyway, let me get some super chats real quick before we get out of here, because I think it's been a fantastic show. And show me some love. If you did enjoy this show, show me some love, and go ahead and jump on here. All right. I got my man 4045 Block. What up, boy? He goes, hey, doesn't matter who we sign as long as Brady is OC. And that's another thing too, bro. We signed this brother to come to the squad. How is he going to use it? That's why I said earlier, you better have 5 to 10 plays designated for him. The read is to go to him. I don't care if the defense knows it's going that way. So be it. And if he doesn't know the playbook, hey, what's that play again? Cool. Josh is going to be like, yo, you're running an out. Oh, you're running a dig. You're running a deep post. You're running a skinny. You're running a comeback. Tell him what the hell he's running and get out there. Just like we did on the playground. Quarterback comes in and says, all right, bro, yo, he takes the football. What does he do? Yo, you're doing that. You're doing this. You do this over here and you do that. Hey, protection. I still can do my lawn protection. You're good. I ain't trying to hear no excuses, man. And the more reason I'm not trying to hear any excuses, Baker Mayfield shows up to the LA Rams and has 3 days to prepare as the quarterback. And he wins and delivers. So I don't want to hear that, oh, he doesn't know the install. He doesn't know. I don't give a rat's ass. Get that brother on the field and get him involved in the game plan. Because if you don't, bam. Yo, get that tight end coach time to freaking get ready and dust off his old playbook. Real talk. I'm trying to get his name. I think it's Boris. Rob Boris. Get Rob Boris to dust off his playbook, and let's go. Because I listen, no more games. No more games. We're not playing no games no more. I ain't doing it. I'm trying to figure out what Rob Boris has done before in his lifetime. What's his coaching, his career? He was DePew, offensive line coach at DePew. Then he went to Texas, graduated as an an assistant offensive line coach. Then he went to tight ends coach. Special assistants on the team in 1996. 97, tight ends coach. Benedict, he was the head coach at Benedict for a year. Then he went to UNLV, offensive line coach, offensive coordinator, and offensive line coach at UNLV from 2001 to 2003. Then he went to Chicago Bears as a tight ends coach. Then he's always been a tight ends coach all the way through. And he was an offensive coordinator for the 2016 Rams. I'd love to know what the 2016 Rams did and how they performed. Offensive coordinator for the 2016 Rams. What did they do that year? Curious. Because it's enough. Can you tell I've had enough of Brady? Golly. I've had enough. What did that team do that year? Love to know. I'm trying to look up my notes at the same time. So if you guys can tell me what the 2016 Rams did when Rob Boris was the offensive coordinator, let me know. Who was the running back? Who was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback then? Mike Martz? No, not Mike Martz. That was the head coach. Who was that? Really nice quarterback. Nothing great, but decent. Anyways, you guys let me know in the chat as I go. All right, my man Richie Fresh comes in with the super chat. Appreciate that super chat. He comes in and says, remember when Bean clowned the Rams for selling out when they won the Super Bowl that year? I don't want to be in shambles. Look at the Rams now. The Rams have $96 million in cap space. The very team that was like, yo, F them picks. F them picks. They got $96 million in cap, and they got draft capital. Bro, and the Rams look fantastic right now. I could see them winning the Super Bowl this year. Matthew Stafford getting his second Super Bowl. Devontae Adams getting one. Puka Nacua getting his. And then they reload the next year and come right back at it again. That would be absolutely insane. And you got RGM talking ish saying, I don't want to be like the Rams. The Rams are laughing at you. If I was the Rams GM, I would backhand you like that, man. Don't you ever talk with me like that again. How you gonna talk greasy like that, Brandon Bean? You ain't no position to talk greasy like that. That's wild to me. Jacob, my man Jacob says, yo, the team being assembled around Josh, in my opinion, is hella disrespectful at this point. No, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. Just think about it. Forget about how the fans felt. Forget about how the fans felt at this point, okay? Because I know I felt some type of way. We all felt some type of way. He was ready to go and not sign, if James Cook held out, he didn't want to pay James Cook money until James Cook held out and says, you need me. So James Cook forced his hand. What if James Cook said, nah? I mean, it's a moot point now because he got his money. But there was one point where he's like, I'm not paying you. I'm not going to pay you. And did he not value him, or he just didn't feel like he needed to do it now? I don't know. But fascinating nonetheless. But it is disrespectful. Look at what you did to him at the receiver position. You brought in Josh Palmer, which I'm disappointed in myself for believing that Josh Palmer was going to do something. I'm mad at myself. Can he still come out and do something? Who knows? Is it the offensive coordinator that's giving me the issues? I believe so. People don't want to blame it on him, but I'm like, the EPA, we're number one ranked in EPA this and EPA that. EPA my balls, man. What I see on the field is not looking great. And the EPA was probably going up against teams that were bum teams, and it looked good against them. But as of late, losing, 3 of the 4 of the last 7 or 3 of the last 7? Bro, calmate. I'm not trying to hear nothing about no EPA this and EPA that. We're ranked here and there. You know what we're ranked right now? We're ranked 7th seed. And we have 5 games. Show me your EPA then. I'm trying to hear about the EPA analytics. Get out of here, boy. Yo, X and O's. Who's winning in the trenches? Who's catching that deep ball if I throw it? Who's getting separation? None of y'all? EPA my nutsack. That's what I say. Man, am I too excited? I'm too excited. I need to calm down, man. I'm too much. I need to relax. By the way, we got adventures with my man Smiles. Whoop, 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 whoop. I gotta show some love. I gotta show some love. Appreciate you. That's love, man. I know that's love. My man 445 blocks of your translation. They thought shit was sweet. They certainly did. My man Sharon. What's up, Sharon? What's going on, man? My G Rico speaking all facts, man. Yo, let me show you some love. Listen, if at any point in this live stream that something I said resonated with you, do me a favor. Smash that like for your boy. If at any point something in this live stream resonated with you and you liked it so much, go ahead and clip it. Send it to me, post it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I be on a roll and sometimes I forget what I say. You know what I'm saying? I be on a roll and I'm just bang. I'm just getting it off my chest. Appreciate you. Love it always. All right. Let me just read a couple of comments before I get out of here because the super chats came through. But yo, bro, this team, bro. Y'all got 5 games to show me something. 5 games. Case Keenum was the quarterback then in 2016. Keep talking to me, people. Keep talking to me. What do we got? Let me just go look it up myself. Because I was in the middle of something here. Let me just go look it up myself. The 2016 Rams. Jeez, Case Keenum was a quarterback? Golly. Woo-wee. Let's see what the 2016 Rams did. They finished the season. Oh my gosh. They finished the season 4-12. All right. Not good. They were the 32nd ranked offense. There's what the heck? They're scoring 14 points a game. Golly. What the? The coach was Jeff Fisher. Oh Lord. All right. I see where this is going. So, yeah, not good. Not good. So maybe Rob Boris, maybe not. Maybe not so much for Rob Boris. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good, people. Yeah, that's not a good team, bro. But I mean, listen, Rob Boris had 1 year of offensive coordinator. that boy had that team scoring 14 points a game. Case Keenum, Jared Goff was Jared Goff the rookie that year? So they started off with Case Keenum. I wonder if Jared Goff was Jared Goff get sacked? Was he drafted in 2016? So unless he got hurt because he played 7 games. So Jared Goff played 7 games. Either way, he played 7 later games or no, he must have got hurt that year because ain't no way. So Case Keenum went 4-5 the rest of the way, and Jared Goff went 0-7. So this was not a good team whatsoever. You had a rookie quarterback, I assume. Golly. Cooper Kupp was on the team at that. No, Cooper Kupp was not on the team. No. Todd Gurley was the running back. That brother had 885 yards. Tavon Austin was probably one of their leading receivers, which is sad on its own. Benny Cunningham was a running back. Who else was there? Who are the receivers on the team? Mike Thomas. Who? Bro, that's awful. No wonder. Yeah. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Tavon Austin, Brian Quick was your receiver. You had who else did you have on that squad? Golly. No, I don't blame them now. I do not blame them for that team not doing well. Ooh-wee. Rob Boris, better yet, chill out. You might have to stay on that side, bro. Maybe we good on that side. Maybe we good. But that's your coach. That's McDermott. That's McDermott. McDermott brought Rob Boris. He brought him there. Joe Brady, that's his guy. Shoot. Golly. My man said, yo, 999. Yo, Rico, great job respecting the comments. Go Pats. Oh, you know me. You can't go say go Pats. Go Pats and go Bills? Come on, 999. You can't be on here talking that greasy. Ooh, listen, if there are fans watching from another team, I respect y'all. We're going through it, man. Listen, the Bills are going through it. Although we're 7-4 and it's not so, it doesn't feel like the end of the world, but it does feel like the end of the world. Okay, because we have 5 big time games coming up. Go ask the Buccaneers how they feel, and they're still at the top of their division. Whew. Golly, my man said, "Yo, Rams let the Bills have Hoyt after they took away his performance-enhancing drugs, knowing he would get injured without them." Ooh, that's a. I don't know what to say about that one. My man said, "Yo, Morgan Fox was on the team then, though, Rico." And Morgan Fox, what is he? 31, 32 years of age? You see what we're doing? You see what we're doing, folks? We just bargain beaning everything, man. It comes to the time where you're like, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Richie Fresh, what up, Rich? Yo, what gives me hope for the Super Bowl this year? Still, this year for the Bills is the powerhouse teams right now might be suspect in playoffs. We have experience, silver lining. Man, get the heck out of here with that, Richie Fresh. You know better than that. You know better than that. Yo, teams have adjusted, bro. They're onto us. The jig is up. The jig is up. Like, you have guys that are not playing well. Like, Taron Johnson's not playing well right now. We're not playing well. Bernard is not playing his best. Right? We just paid $20 million to Greg Rousseau. Greg Rousseau is a fantastic defender, but he's not a pass rusher. It's evident. It's right. You can see it right there. He's just okay at pass rushing. Great defender. Sets the edge. Love that. Joey Bosa, broken hand. We don't know if he's going to even be back. We're going to talk about injuries all tomorrow, but it's tough, man. I love the silver lining. Silver lining. Maybe an injury happens. Maybe, you know what I mean? They go on a bad run. I was just talking to a Eagles fan, and he was like, "Yo, man, we're going through it too." Because they were talking about our offense. He's like, "Yo, we're going through it too. Kevin Patullo, he's killing us. He this and that. The Eagles just lost their game. But at least there was a semblance of something happening. You know what I mean? A.J. Brown started getting the football again. And then they started turning the ball over. Story of their lives, right? Story of our lives. So hopefully something gives, man. Something's got to change. Something's got to give. We're hoping that happens sometime soon. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an hour and a half on the dot. I did not think I was going to go this long, but you know what I mean? You guys got me talking. You guys got me going. And here we are. So before I get out of here, though, I do have to do what I normally do, and that is pick sleeper slips going for this weekend. Thanksgiving. By the way, happy early Thanksgiving to my American friends that will be enjoying themselves a good time. Hold on, let me just though you guys will be going. I mean, you guys will be doing all your Thanksgiving meals and all that good stuff. So that's gonna be fun. I'm excited for you guys. Are you guys excited? You should be, as you should be. So let me just close this up here because I'm trying to find. I opened it up and then I lost it. Hang tight, folks. You guys hang tight. You guys have been fantastic so far. I gotta pick my slips and hopefully I can get lucky. And if I can get something cracking here, that'll be great. So what do I got here? All right. Now, why would you send me that right there? All right. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I picked the Dallas one, and we didn't have a show. So take a look what I did. And let me share my screen so you guys can see. The Dallas Philly game was something else, by the way. I actually enjoyed that. Something about Dallas, looking like they were going to lose had me joyful. And then I didn't want the Eagles to win either. So then the Dallas Cowboys coming back, George Pickens looking good. It really did something to my soul. It really did something to my soul. So I enjoyed that tremendously. So let me show you what I did here. So let me bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I prop everything up and get it prepared. So you guys obviously know the sleeper is something that we partnered up with all year, and it allows you to jump in and have some fun, right? So in doing so, use our code. Using that code BF25 allows you to get $100, 100% match up to $100. And here, listen, we're gonna hook you up. Here's a $20 entry, and there's There's not a whole lot. No deposit needed. Just jump in there. We got you. Use that code BF25 and you guys will be ready to go. So obviously, using that code BF25, you'll get obviously the $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. You guys know that. So Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check your Sleeper today. So go ahead and do that. So here's what I picked for this past game, which was a freaking heater of a game. So let me share my screen for y'all and let's get it cracking. Boom, boom, boom. Let me move that over. Slide that sucker over. All right. So check this out, folks. Let me know what your thoughts on how I did here. So I have Dak Prescott. I had over at 1.5 touchdowns. Yo, Dak is nasty with it, boy. Dak is nasty with it. So boom, I hit that. Javonte Williams, anytime touchdown. And then I had Saquon Barkley. Oh, Saquon, bro. See, and I lost it again. This is where I got it. It's Saquon that killed me. Saquon kills me every single time. And here we are. So your boy is not doing well. This is why I stopped doing the whole guessing those things because sometimes I'm poo-poo at it, guys. I'm done. I'm just better off at just, having a good time, ranting about my Bills team, and then calling it a day. That's the only way I look at it. So much appreciated for your time and patience with your boy. Let me remove that and get back to my original screen, and we can get it cracking again. So you guys have been always great. I appreciate you guys very much so, and we will see you guys again. What are we today? You guys are doing Thanksgiving, so are you trying to do a show on Friday? Should we do a show on Friday? Of course we're going to do a show on Friday. You guys are going to be home. You guys got no work. So you guys are going to come through, and we're going to do that, and we'll have a good time. And we'll see what my boy Papa Bell has to say about this upcoming game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be something. TJ Watt, Coach Omar Epps is going to be there. It's going to be a good time. This is going to be a good time. Super chat coming in from my man Richie says, yo, my point is, you think Danny Dimes, first-year playoff Drake May, can beat the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, etc. in playoffs? Yes, because in the playoffs, you have to run the football. All right? So Philly, when it comes down to it, Jonathan Taylor's going to run the football. The Ravens are going to run the football, and Pacheco and the boys are going to still run the football as well. So, yes. And Trevion Henderson can run the football. You've got to run the football in the playoffs. And guess what we can't do is stop teams from running the football. So, come on, man. It's just not good altogether. It's not good altogether. And damn all the injuries. The injuries happen. Everybody's got injuries they got to deal with. That ours happen to be one of the worst in the league? Maybe. Or maybe we're just on par. But you know what isn't banged up? The offense. And the offense should be the ones kind of holding it down and being our defense, scoring more points, just laying it on these people. But we're not. We're putting up 24 points a game. That ain't going to cut it. That ain't going to cut it. And we're not stopping enough defensively. So, yeah, here we are. Here the F we are. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Listen, much love to you guys. You guys are always fantastic. You guys always treat me great. And we will see you guys again on Friday. Hopefully, we're going to be back tomorrow, obviously, with my man Thigh Doc. We're going to talk some injuries, and hopefully we can set something up with my man Carl Jones. I do want thoughts on Keon Coleman. I didn't even get into Keon Coleman talk, so I want to get my thoughts on Carl Jones. He'll share some thoughts. So we'll get back to it again tomorrow. So, folks, have yourself a great day. Have yourself a great Thanksgiving as well. That's much love to you guys. And if you want, you guys can save me a piece, or save me a chicken leg, a turkey leg, and we'll go from there. All right. Y'all have a great one. Be great. Be good. Be safe. God bless you guys. And we'll catch you guys on the flip. Until next time, it's your boy Rico. It's the Rico Report. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. Peace.